WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
What a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Well, that Flyers loss was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it? Good grief. I mean, the Flyers give you a game in the middle of the day. They get to overtime with one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Rod Brind'Amour looks just completely disgusted by his team. They're potentially going to lose to one of the lesser teams in the league this year. This Flyers team fights almost to the bitter end, and then they give up that softy goal at the end. And here we are. Josh Hennig here on Game Night on a Monday edition on 97.3 ESPN. Hope everyone's enjoyed their President's Day. Of course, Mike Gill, the Sports Bash, will be back full 4 hours tomorrow here on 97.3 ESPN. We'll be back to normal tomorrow, but today we are on a little late because of the Flyers game. They lose in overtime 4-3. NBA All-Star Weekend, Joel Embiid, Seth Curry, and more to discuss right here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. As always, you can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app thanks to First Bank of Sea Isle City. And as always, text board is open 609-403-0973. You know, it was a very strange weekend because this was the first weekend that we didn't have a go-to event as sports fans. Most weekends, you have a situation where there's a specific basketball game or a specific football game that you're looking forward to. Well, the NBA was the All-Star break. So you're looking for anything NBA related. It was the All-Star game on Sunday or the skills and everything competitions on Saturday, All-Star Saturday night is what they call it. College basketball is all over the place over Saturday and Sunday. So for sports fans, we were kind of looking around like, all right, well, what do we focus in on? And for me, I'll admit it, I focused in on the NBA All-Star weekend. And let's lay out all the cards on the table. I thought the All-Star game was better on-court product than it has been. Was it great? No. I'm not going to sit here and act like it was a great game or a great product, but it was better than it usually is. And I think that is where, I kind of go with that. The Flyers, we already know how bad the Flyers are, but the Sixers at least are giving you something to think about each and every night. And Joel Embiid went out there in the All-Star game and just had a great day. He had a great day. Joel Embiid probably would have won the MVP if his team would have won, although it's hard to go against what Steph Curry did. I understand that half of Steph's shots were not contested, but the way that he shot the ball was absolutely nuts. I can't remember a guy under any scenario shooting like that before. It was the most insane shooting performance I've ever seen, or at least I can remember. I know a lot of people focus on the total points of 50 points, which is incredible in and of itself. But to me, the fact that Curry went 16 for 27 from three, absolutely insane. The entire team LeBron had 27 threes. He had 16 of those 27 threes. So it makes a lot of sense why he was the MVP. But if it wasn't for Team LeBron winning and for Steph, Joel Embiid was going to be the All-Star MVP. To me, it was more than just the points that Embiid had, the 36. It's the way he got those points. It looked like every time he got the ball, he was looking to score. Embiid also went 5 for 8 from 3, which in and of itself is ridiculous. The only person who had a better shooting night than Embiid from three-point range was Steph Curry. Everyone else on the floor was either mediocre or poor shooting threes. LeBron James went 2 for 11. Giannis went 0 for 3. Darius Garland, the hometown guy for the Cavs, he went 3 for 7 from 3 and 5 for 12 from the field. Joel Embiid's own teammates didn't do a lot to help him. Jason Tatum was 0 for 4 from 3. Trae Young was 3 for 9, typical Trae Young streaky shooter. Chris Middleton was 1 for 5 and a couple of ugly shots. And LaMelo Ball, he went 4 for 8. So he was, good but not great. Embiid was incredible. And his 36 points are not going to be remembered because his team lost and because of Steph Curry's, just off the wall bonkers performance. But I cannot overlook the fact that this guy, Joel Embiid, went out and said, I am one of the best in the world against the best in the world. There were only 3 players on the court that scored 30 points or more on Sunday night. It was Giannis, it was Steph, and it was Joel. Joel proved on Sunday night that he is not just unafraid of the moment, he is not just unafraid of the big stage, but that he wants it, he craves it, he desires it, and he is better than almost anyone else you could put on the floor. Look, LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time. He's on the 75 list. So is Giannis. So is Steph. Those guys, we know who and what they are. Those guys have had their opportunities. They've had their flowers. They've been given their credit. But Joel Embiid went out there and said, it's my time. It's my time to shine. And he did a great job at it. And I think that it's only going to be fuel for his fire in the second half to be like, hey, man, I was on Team Durant and half my teammates didn't do their job. Listen, it's an all-star game, okay? It's an all-star game. And you had dudes barely able to score. John Moran had a couple of really nice moments. He only scored 6 points the entire night. Wiggins was an all-star for the first time. He was a so-so 10 points. I told you, Tatum was 0 for 3. He had only 8 points. The second leading scorer on the team was Booker coming off the bench. But even he was 2 for 9 from 3. He still got 20 points. Team Durant was basically carried by Joel Embiid all night. And thank goodness, I'm so grateful and thankful that Sunday night was actually a decent, entertaining game because Saturday was an embarrassment. Saturday was an absolute positive joke. First of all, that's the worst slam dunk contest I've ever seen. The fact that these dudes went out there and missed that many dunks and performed that poorly was pathetic. Like, yeah, it's cool that I was right, that Obi Toppin won, but it feels like a hollow win. I mean, that's a dunk contest you don't want to remember ever happened. Listen, I remember back when Desmond Mason won. And people were like, who the heck is Desmond Mason? But Desmond Mason put up a great show. Most people before Gerald Green won the slam dunk contest years ago had no idea who he was. But he put up a fun performance. Terrence Ross, same thing. I don't mind there being lesser dudes on the floor. But at least Desmond Mason and Gerald Green and Terrence Ross are guys that are getting minutes. Derek Jones got minutes that season, the season after in the NBA. Juan Toscano Anderson, even being part of the dunk competition, was an insult to every basketball fan. And that slam dunk contest was an embarrassment for the league. And they have to change things to never let that happen again. I mean, they showed they showed the shots from the crowd of guys like Shaq and the judges at the table like Drexler and Wilkins. And these guys are looking around, they're like, we showed up for this? I mean, even Obi Toppin, who had to wait forever to get his first dunk in because was it an interesting idea that Anthony did? Sure. Put your dad's jersey on, put the Timbs on, kind of act like it's street ball. You're just walking on the court off the street to have a dunk. We know that look. We know that style. If you ever played street ball, you all remember the dude who showed up in the Timbs with the hoodie on, all chilled out, and be like, hey, man, I got next. And you're like, who the heck is this guy? Then he goes there, starts just making shots and doing all kinds of crazy layups. And you're like, wow, this guy's a smooth operator. So I get what Cole Anthony was doing. But it took forever, like Obi Toppin said, to even get the Timbs on. The Timbs should have already been on his feet, all right? He should have walked on the court with the Timbs on his feet and then just pull off the jacket to show the jersey and then gone and dunked. But instead, he takes 10 minutes to put the Timbs on, has to show off the jersey. He's repositioning his dad for the dunk. He finally gets the dunk off. I lost 20 minutes of my life. They got to do serious changes to dunk contest. Now, Mike Gill brought up the idea earlier, and I think it's the best idea I've heard. Make the guys do historic great dunks. Make them do, Jordan from the foul line. Make them do Vince Carter 360. Make them do Dominique Wilkins two-handed, his dunks, from reverse. Make these guys, the Jason Richardson, reach back. Make these guys do the great dunks. There's no more new dunks to make. We've had a dunk contest now since the 70s, if you include the ABA with Dr. J and Dave Thompson. All right? Mike Gill said, make these guys do the old dunks, and we judge them in the old dunks. First of all, that's the best solution I've heard, and it's the only one that's going to get a passable grade at this point. Number two, my opinion is they have to put financial incentive on this. Because to go in there with Juan Toscano Anderson, who's not even the third best dunker on his team. You may or may not know, but Juan Toscano Anderson is on the Golden State Warriors. The best dunker on the Warriors, it's not Juan Toscano Anderson. It's Kuminga. That dude is a freak. The second best dunker on the team is probably Andrew Wiggins, who was in the All-Star game last night. The third best dunker is probably Gary Payton Jr. So you end up with the fourth best dunker on a team in a dunk contest, and he struggled to do a dunk. So did Jalen Green. So did everybody else. Obi Toppin won because he just happened to be not as bad as the other three. So I say take Mike Gill's idea of saying, look, you're not doing your own dunks anymore. You're going to recreate the old dunks and go out there and we'll grade you on the old dunks. The second thing you do to me, and this is my opinion, they mentioned this in passing on Saturday and Sunday's broadcasts, but I'm going to re-emphasize it again more blatantly. You got to put money on the line. I don't care how much money you got to put on the line. There's money out there. There's always going to be somebody with money out there who's willing to flush it down the toilet for something like this. Go to Sprite, go to State Farm, go to Chevy or Toyota or somebody and be like, look, you are going to be not just a sponsor, but you're going to help put up some of the money for this event. Find somebody else, somebody who loves the basketball, loves the NBA, who's willing to put up the rest of the money. Find the money. Make it a huge purse. Make it to the point where you're saying the winner's not making $50,000. It's got to be at least $500,000. I think it needs to be $1 million, actually. Actually, probably $2 million. Winner gets $2 million. Slam dunk contest. Let's go. Put the game on a timer. Put the event on a timer. You only got X number of seconds, maybe like 90 seconds or something. Take Mike Gill's idea. Have them do do a selector, hit a button that randomizes and says, all right, we're going to the 30 greatest slam dunk competition dunks all time. Run the wheel. Okay, now I got to do D Brown's blind dunk or whoever it lands on. It's the only answer to the dunk contest. Otherwise, you're going to just keep embarrassing yourself, NBA. The three-point competition has become we already know kind of how it's going to go. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns was a huge underdog going into the event, but the fact that some of those other guys shot so poorly, I mean, that was a bad look. I mean, you got guys like CJ McCollum out there. You have guys like Zach LaVine, who's coming off an injury. I don't even know why he was out there. You have dudes who are like legit three-point shooters, gunners, guys who all they are known for is being sharpshooters, and they couldn't beat a 7-footer in Karl Anthony Towns. Now Towns is saying he's the greatest big man shooter of all time. Meanwhile, Joel Embiid went 5 for 8 in the NBA All-Star game. But I digress. And then the skills competition was a mess. Giannis and his brothers, the team Antetokounmpo, they all just did not do well. That was a bad job by me. I thought they were going to win. They didn't win. But the favorites didn't win either, the rookies. Team Cavs won. And it was mostly because of the fact that Evan Mobley is that special. Evan Mobley and Darius Garland are amazing to watch. And they're the reason why the Cavs are interesting. And they're the reason why LeBron James is even considering maybe going back to Cleveland. Oh, you didn't hear that story? I'll tell you about that coming up next as well. Here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. We'll recap the full sports weekend. Like I said, slam dunk contest right, skills competition wrong. Those are two of my picks over the weekend. We hit the over in the All-Star game barely. The total was 320 and a half. The final score was 323. I mean, talk about squeezing it out at the end. Whoo! Man. Thank goodness it was a close fourth quarter. We wouldn't have hit the over at all. We'll check the text board on the other side. 609-403-0973. It's the text board, 609-403-0973. Priority texting into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City. On the air a little late today. Flyers hockey went into overtime, and they lost at the very last seconds of the 3-on-3 overtime, 4-3. So we came on the air late, but we're still talking sports with you guys. Joel Embiid, phenomenal Saturday night. NBA, an embarrassing Saturday night. Joel Embiid, great on Sunday night. So we'll get into all that and more coming up right here on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. It's free thanks to First Bank of Seattle City.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Here's how I look at it, y'all. Philadelphia, with the way Joel Embiid is playing right now, with the addition of James Harden, they're the clear-cut favorite to come out of the East. I don't think the game of basketball has seen a player the way Joel Embiid has been playing right now.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Listen weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
It's Truck Month all month at Matt Blatt Nissan.
Oh, yeah, it's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan. New trucks arriving every day and all month. Just because you don't see it on the lot doesn't mean you can't be driving it home tomorrow. $5,000 off Titans, or lease the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier S 4x4 King Cab. Just $279 per month with zero security deposit. Plus, AJ, the trade man, needs more trades. Get more for your trade and drive home a brand new Nissan with zero down and pay 0% interest on every new Nissan in stock. And drive away with peace of mind, because only Matt Blatt Nissan has a 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Only at MattBlattNissan.com. Negative equity will be refinanced into new vehicle 36 month, 10,000 mile pre-year lease plus tax tag and $479.50. Offers can't be combined. Call 877-289-6670 or go to MedPlatNissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 3/6/2022. It's on at MedPlat Nissan. The Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get two great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole in one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary. Next on the luge, James Cooper.
James, you can't luge.
I didn't think I could get a credit card either, but Credit Karma showed me cards that I'm most likely to get approved for. That's Karma Confidence.
I got a card too, James. Members who shop on Credit Karma get approved 66% more. That doesn't mean you can luge.
Lose it or leave it, baby.
Karma Confidence. Great for credit cards. Not so great for the luge. Member approval rates in 2021, 66% higher than 2020 CFPB national average. Approval not guaranteed.
Tonight isn't just epic, it's extreme.
That's right. The premiere of AGT Extreme with the biggest, most exciting acts you've ever seen.
Like people swimming less than 30 minutes after they eat. Extreme.
More like huge jaw-dropping acts. No special effects, no stuntmen, 100% extreme.
Like full contact knitting. Extreme.
Not exactly. This one's hosted by Terry Crews with judges Travis Pastrana, Nikki Bella, and Simon Cowell.
Ooh.
AGT Extreme premieres tonight on NBC.
Or a bunch of puppies.
Oh.
Extremely cute.
I give up.
Is your heating system reliable? Finding cold or drafty places in your house? Problems with comfort issues in your home aren't just going to go away. Now is the time to call Jenkins Plumbing and Heating about a new system from American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. American Standard products are made in America, many of them right here in New Jersey. Call Jenkins today about American Standard, and you'll not only be supporting local jobs, but you'll also save money, reduce energy costs, and increase the comfort, safety, and durability of your home with attractive rebates of up to $2,300 from your local utilities. And to make your new system even more affordable, get up to 0% financing for up to $15,000 for 7 years. Don't end up with a heating failure during the coldest time of the year. It's time to call Jenkins, 609-641-6262. Online at jenkinsandsons.com.
Jenkins Plumbing and Heating. We're always here for you. Jenkins Plumbing and Heating. We're always here for you.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole in one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
Hey team, it's a full house. We got to pick up the pace.
At Hank's Restaurant, the line goes around the block.
Is this for 12? Okay, I need the truffle oil drizzle.
What he needs is another line cook.
Oh man, are the quail breasts still in the sous vide? Dave, can you keep an eye on that, please?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Explore Banana Republic Factory with 50% off everything. Shop versatile tops, adventure-ready pants, and more from $24.99. Find your nearest store or shop online. Only at Banana Republic Factory.
Some people are easily moved.
Wasn't that just the saddest movie ever?
Whatever. Others, not so much.
Oh, look at the puppies!
Just dogs, but smaller, so what? But even those who aren't easily moved.
Look, your long-lost brother's been found.
Oh, hi, Mike. Can be moved by us. Yeah, we're that good.
Use Clark's Moving and Storage in Rio Grande for your next local or long-distance move. Visit Clark's Moving and Storage online at clarksmoving.net.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
This was actually the highlight of All-Star Saturday night, at least for me, I didn't know Ludacris was showing up. I'm sitting there watching the little, concert they're having. And I'm like, all right, DJ Khaled doing DJ Khaled things, whatever. And out of nowhere, I hear Luda. I'm like, no, what? I was shocked that he showed up at that concert last Saturday night. I was like, all right, highlight of Saturday night, NBA All-Star Weekend. Not Karl Anthony Towns, not the skills competition, certainly not the dunk contest. It's Ludacris' surprise appearance on the stage in Cleveland. Yeah, that's where we were at Saturday night. That's how bad it was. On a weekend that the NBA was supposed to own, two ridiculous stories come out of the weekend. One being the horrible slam dunk contest, and the other being, Juwan Howard basically being a hothead is the best way I can explain it. Before we get to Juwan Howard, and we'll check out the text board in a bit, 609-403-0973. You also can DM the show through the 973 ESPN mobile app, thanks to First Bank of Seattle City. So, LeBron James is arguably one of the 5 most calculated athletes to ever live. It's him. It's Tom Brady. It's Peyton Manning. These are the kind of people that when I say they think before they talk is an understatement. They know exactly what they're saying, when they're saying it, how they're saying it, and how it's going to be interpreted. They are literally pulling our strings and pushing our buttons because they can. So LeBron had some interesting things to say this weekend. But to me, the biggest thing that stands out from what he said this weekend to me is the fact that he did not rule out returning to Cleveland. Now, you know why he said that, or maybe you don't. To me, it's very obvious. LeBron James wanted to use the opportunity on the biggest stage at the All-Star game in Cleveland to send a message to the Lakers. When LeBron James tweeted that he loved Les Snead, the Rams GM, sure, and he said, that's my kind of GM. When he went out and spoke glowingly of Sam Presti, when he has made the comments that he has made recently about GMs, it's a direct shot at Rob Pelinka. And he's trying to send a message to the Lakers that this is unacceptable. Now, part of the problem is the Lakers are in the situation they are because of LeBron, not just because of Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka is a small piece of a bigger pie. Is Pelinka at fault for their lack of aggressiveness and their lack of basically doing whatever is necessary to win? Absolutely. I think Pelinka always has been, always will be a mediocre GM. I think Pelinka pretty much got that job because he was Kobe's agent and friend. And now that Kobe is no longer with us, Pelinka doesn't have much of anything to fall back on except for Jeannie Buss. And I'm not even fully sure how much Jeannie Buss even likes Pelinka. I have no idea of how deep their relationship goes. From everything I've heard and read, Pelinka has that job because of Kobe. And the relationship that Kobe had with Jeannie. And Jeannie wanted to change over the entire front office because of the mess that her brother and Mitch Kupchak had done. She basically fired her brother. And her thinking was, well, look, Pelinka used to be an agent. He knows the system. And we're going to bring in people with him. Now, Jeannie Buss is also getting advice from Kurt Rambis and Kurt Rambis' wife. So I don't know how much good advice she really is or isn't getting. But at the end of the day, here's what I do know. When LeBron James speaks, he has a reason for saying things. So there were two reasons why he said what he said. Like I said, number one is to send the Lakers a message. He's saying, look, I can leave and I'll go back to Cleveland. I don't care. I got no sweat off my back. Because he looks at the Lakers and look, I got my ring in LA, but I don't like this roster. I don't like this team. When they won the championship, if they just would have kept most of those players there, they would have been contenders again. They wouldn't have been kicked out by the Suns that early in the postseason. In fact, they might not have even played the Suns in the postseason. They might have played somebody else. They could have even at least gotten to the Western Conference Finals and played the Suns eventually. But no, they couldn't keep the roster together that got them the win in the bubble. They got the ring. They couldn't keep most of the roster together. They kept fiddling and messing with the roster. And now 2 years later, LeBron looks like a guy who completely regrets everything. And now he looks at Cleveland and he says, man, these guys got Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen and Kobe Altman's doing a great job with this organization. And he's in Cleveland for the weekend. He returns to the homeland, as they call it, or at least he and his people call it. And he looks around. He's like, you know what? My ex is looking pretty good without me. Yeah, that's what LeBron's saying. LeBron's looking at the Cavs and saying, you know what? My ex doesn't look as bad as I thought they would. And you know what? The last time I left my ex opened a door for me to come back. Now I look at my ex and I'm like, you know what? Things might look pretty good over there in Cleveland. Maybe LA isn't the end all be all. You know, I moved my family out here to go to school for my kids, and I want to be around my kids. And, you know, I want to do all these things in LA with, you know, entertainment and you know, endorsements and everything. But man, if the Lakers don't change a few things, maybe I'll just leave in free agency and go to Cleveland and win another ring in the homeland. LeBron may be getting older, but LeBron is still better than 95% of the league. 38 year old LeBron James can still be a catalyst in a championship team. The dude stays in phenomenal physical shape. He's a little more nicked up and banged up than he used to be. But with the end game in sight that he has, which is playing with his son, which he would be about 40 years old when his son would be in the NBA. Unless the NBA changes their entry rules, which I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. LeBron already knows he's going to be leaving LA at some point because he's going to go play with his son. But now he's letting LA know, if you don't fix some things, if you don't change some things, if you don't shake some things up, I'm out. I'll go back to my ex. I'll go somewhere else entirely. I don't care. Heck, LeBron's so spiteful, I wouldn't even be surprised if LeBron said, you know what? Lakers, you messed up. I'll go with the Clippers for 2 years while my son is still in high school. Okay? I can see him doing that because LeBron is that kind of dude. He's the kind of dude who is going to do what he thinks is best for him, his family, his business, and his image, and everything else that goes with that. He don't care about Laker fans. He don't care about Magic Johnson. He don't care about any of that stuff. When LeBron went to LA, he was always going to Lakers. He had planned that long ahead of time. That was a long-term move by him for his business operations because his wife wanted to go to LA, for his kids to go to Sierra Canyon High School. This was all a long-term play for him going to the Lakers. But now his professional life is becoming no fun compared to his personal life. And he wants that work-life balance back. Now, there's one thing the Lakers can do. Lakers can get rid of Rob Pelinka and then go get another GM. LeBron loves Sam Presti. Could the Lakers lure Sam Presti away from Oklahoma City to come to LA? I don't know the answer for that. I don't know Presti personally. I haven't seen any reporting that suggests that Presti is leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder GM job especially after he is in the middle of a massive rebuild out there. But if they could get a guy like Presti or someone to go to LA to be the GM, I think it's something to keep in mind. It's also very enlightening. LeBron is throwing the GM under the bus and not the head coach. LeBron at one point was pointed to as a coach killer, which I thought was always a very inaccurate image to paint of him. You know, LeBron is a guy who has been very vocal in public and behind the scenes about who he wants to work with, why he wants to work with that person, and a lot of his feelings about different things. LeBron has never been the kind of guy who's going to hold back. So when I look at the situation in LA, I understand he doesn't want to take some responsibility for the reason why they're in the predicament they're in, but he is at part at fault. But because he won't take responsibility for what he's at fault for, he'll find a way to get rid of somebody he doesn't like. To me, it sounds very much like the GM's on its way out of LA. Because they're winning nothing this year. Absolutely nothing. Now, on top of all, I mentioned LeBron's at fault for all of this. LeBron's the one who wanted Anthony Davis to come to LA. LeBron James is the one who put AD in Space Jam 2. LeBron is the one who handpicked this guy to be his sidekick. And now, Anthony Davis is more known for how many games he misses than anything else. Well, if Anthony Davis was healthy, the problem isn't Russell Westbrook, okay? Russ is just getting older, and he's had trouble adjusting to a roster that, frankly, is pretty poor. But the reality is this. Anthony Davis being LeBron's sidekick is going to be the thing that hurts his legacy the most when it comes to Los Angeles. Because history will tell the story that LeBron wanted to go to LA. He won one ring, but he couldn't win anymore because Anthony Davis was the guy that he was relying on to help him. And Anthony Davis couldn't stay on the floor because of his ankle and his foot and his knee and his shoulder and his wrist. And the list keeps going on. Anthony Davis is basically, he's unreliable. You can't trust that guy to be on the court. And that's LeBron James' fault. LeBron's the one who wanted him in LA with him. If LeBron instead would have tried to team up with somebody else, and listen, I'm not going to sit here and try to do revisionist history and act like all these people were available to him, but LeBron could have pushed for somebody else to join him in LA. He could have made a pursuit after somebody else, but he wanted Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis wanted out of New Orleans. It seemed like a match made in heaven, and now everybody's suffering for it. Josh Hennig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Coming up the other side, the announcement was made about the future of Juwan Howard, the Michigan head coach who got into an altercation on Sunday and open hand smacked the assistant coach for the Wisconsin Badgers. I'll get into all it means, what the breaking news is about Juwan Howard's future coming up the other side right here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City.
It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey tomorrow on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app with Tim Saunders and Steve Coates calling all the play-by-play action.
Oh, big save by Carter Hart.
The Flyers host the St. Louis Blues.
Coverage begins at 3 p.m. It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the radio home of the Flyers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN, and listen live on the free mobile app.
Tyndall Auto Plaza has the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models, with over 170 pre-owned vehicles on their huge 100-acre lot. Everything from sporty coupes to SUVs to trucks. Tyndall offers the area's best buying experience, easy and hassle-free, with 60 years of customer satisfaction and community service. Discover why Tyndall customers are so loyal.
Shop for your next pre-owned vehicle at Kindle Auto Plaza, exit 10 of the Parkway, Stone Harbor Boulevard, or online at KindleAutoplaza.com.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
2021 is officially in the rearview mirror, and we are well into the winter of 2022. Hi, Tom McAllister from McAllister The Service Company. People often ask me what is the secret to the incredible success of the McAllister organization. The answer is simple. It's our core values of honesty, integrity, and our 100% satisfaction guarantee. For over 145 years, our clients call us not because we service or install a particular make or brand of equipment. They call us because they are trusting their home comfort to the experts at McAllister. So if you put off upgrading your air conditioning system last year, now is the perfect time to take advantage of discounts and rebates offered by the state and the utilities. Remember, after January 23rd, there are only 8 Saturdays left until spring. Talk to the experts at McAllister, 609-927-4122, or at mcservice.com for all your heating and air conditioning needs. McAllister cannot control the weather, but we can control your comfort.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to hire a professional voice actor and pay him absurd amounts of money to say,
I like this product.
Not sure why that was better. I mean, I'm a professional too, but we didn't pay him to say the business part, so back to me. Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. Sorry, I know hearing me say it was a bit of a letdown. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Right now, people are home with their pets more often, and I think now, especially with the shedding, they're more cognizant of what's going on and that it's an actual issue, and Dynovite has helped tremendously in our house with that.
I just heard the Dynovite commercial so many times, I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot, and I ordered it and tried it, and it worked.
The Dynovite, the being at home, working with them, they all love it. Me and Chewy are together 24/7.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
DINOVITE.com. When you want experience, go for the best. Pick up the phone and call Dennisville Fence.
Here's a tip from Dennisville Fence. When is the busiest and most difficult time of year to hire any contractor? Naturally, it's the spring and summer months. We suggest you beat the rush and start now. Get the attention you deserve and take advantage of the best pricing of the year. Winter is here and it's getting cold, but the ground isn't frozen and we are installing a new fence for your neighbor in a few days. Are you getting a new pool this spring? Don't say you weren't reminded. Call 1-800-499-FENCE today to learn about our new line of privacy, decorative, security, and pool fencing by ActiveGuard. Dennisville Fence has the largest inventory and best prices in South Jersey, and we can deliver your new ActiveGuard fence directly to your home or job site. Buy local. Dennisville Fence will match all competitors and online pricing. Call 1-800-499-FENCE or go to DennisvilleFence.com to request an estimate.
Go with experience, go for the best. Pick up the phone and call Dennisville Fence. 1-800-499-FENCE. Visit DennisvilleFence.com.
High prices don't get you a great network. A great network gets you a great network. It's why Total Wireless runs on the largest, most dependable network with nationwide 5G. And now our totally unlimited plan is just $50 a month for talk, text, and high-speed data that never run out. Get unlimited laughing, scrolling, unlimited everything. Total Wireless. Do amazing. Available at Target. Capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Total Wireless reserves the right to review your account after 60 gigs. Terms and conditions at totalwireless.com/terms.
With GMF financing excludes Corvette.
Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade.
No joke.
That's $8,000 minimum for any rundown old piece of junk you can get to our lot. Don't let that clunker just sit around. Have it towed to Bennett and get at least $8,000 towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. But this is a special offer this month only. Got a good trade? Bring it in. Because if we're paying a minimum $8,000 for junk, imagine how much more Bennett will pay for a good quality trade. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy ours. Plus, you won't find Bennett selling new cars over factory window sticker like other dealers. And if you're stuck in a lease, we can get you out early. Every make and model.
No obligation, no pressure.
Because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade. Find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Josh Hennig live in the Matt Black Kia studios here on 97.3 ESPN. The breaking news that hit just a little bit ago. ESPN and Yahoo Sports are both reporting that Michigan head coach Juwan Howard is going to be suspended for the next 5 games. What that means is Juwan Howard will be suspended for the remainder of the regular season, will be eligible to return for the Big Ten tournament. ESPN is also reporting that the possible fines and other things are expected to come out in a full announcement later tonight. So we'll see exactly what happens with the fines. But one thing we know for sure is that Juwan Howard will not be doing anything for this Michigan team the rest of the year. Now, a couple things. One, this might be a blessing in disguise because Michigan for the next 5 games basically has to create a good enough resume that they can prove that they deserve to be in the conversation for the NCAA tournament. The man who will take over as the acting head coach is someone that most Philadelphia basketball fans are familiar with, Phil Martelli. Phil Martelli from St. Joe's, the former St. Joe Hawks coach for many years, is going to be the guy that is going to be handed the reins for Michigan for the next 5 games. Martelli is one of the most composed and high basketball IQ men you can find in America. And he's going to have that Michigan team ready to play for the next 5 games. That's the good news. The bad news is, I don't know if the 5 games is enough of a suspension or the fines are enough. I really don't. I don't have a strong opinion about how many games he should have been suspended. I know he should have been suspended no matter what. His actions yesterday didn't just put a bad look on him and the University of Michigan basketball program. It put a bad look on college sports. I asked Mike Gill this question earlier on the Sports Bash, and I'll ask this to all of you out there. If you are a parent and your child has the opportunity to go play Division I basketball, and you're looking at Michigan, are you okay with your son going to play for a guy who can't keep his cool in a very basic situation like that? The situation is very simple. They're going through the handshake line. He had to get his last 2 cents in to the Wisconsin coach, telling him, I'll remember that next time. The coach from Wisconsin grabs him, wants to explain it, and Juwan Howard interprets that as him putting his hands on me. And I had to defend myself. Is that really the guy that you want coaching your son? Is that really the guy that you want being a leader of the young men that are put in his care? I've never met Juwan Howard. I don't know what he's like personally, but I have some serious questions about him. This is now twice that he has gotten to altercations. Now, last year was not a physical altercation. It was more of a verbal one. But this is 2 straight years now that he has gotten altercations with opposing coaches. This is 2 times now that a guy who played in the NBA for over a decade, is the head coach of his alma mater, has lost his cool in a post-game situation. I don't know if I'd be comfortable with sending my kid to learn from that man. It's bad enough that this generation of young people, half of them are just completely soft and have no wherewithal of what it means to earn anything. So many of these kids are just entitled little punks nowadays. It's bad enough that you got to find a way to rip that entitlement and wipe away that type of mentality away from these kids before they enter the real world. But now you got a guy who says, do as I say and not as I do, as the head coach of your basketball team. I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable with that guy being the man to be coaching if I had a son going to D1. I just wouldn't. Now, Juwan Howard may be a wonderful individual. He may be a guy that I could be friends with. I never met the guy. I don't know him personally. But I'm saying that from the outside looking in, this looks bad. For my son or daughter, whoever it is, to go to college, I want them to go to an environment that encourages structure, that brings out the best in them, that helps them become the best version of themselves. I think there's plenty of coaches that do that at the next level. There's plenty of coaches who are great mentors to men and women across the board. I just don't think that guy is Juwan Howard at this point. Juwan Howard needs to accept responsibility for his actions. He needs to own up to what he has done and what he has said. Or he is going to be looked at as the guy who has a bad temper that maybe you don't want to send your kid to Michigan for him to coach your kid. Josh Hennig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. We'll be back tomorrow. Talk more NBA tomorrow with Brian Toporek from Forbes Sports. Have a great night, everybody.